Olá, bem-vindos ao programa Show VIP desta semana. Gente, é muita coisa, é Olimpíadas, é impeachment, é gente atrás do Senado, mas o programa Show VIP continua aqui para trazer para você coisas legais e gostosas de se assistir, ok? Lembrando, o programa Show VIP agora é transmitido todos os sábados, domingos e terças-feiras, às 21 horas. Também você pode assistir pelo site através do programa Show VIP, que é o www.showvip.com.br. E continue participando, continue lendo nossos colunistas no site, curta nossa página no Facebook e faça parte desse programa. Bem, no programa de hoje nós temos novamente Eliane Munhoz trazendo para vocês uma super entrevista com Jack Huston e com Rodrigo Santoro, que está fazendo o papel em Ben Hur, que chegou aos cinemas exatamente nesse dia 18. Então fiquem ligados, porque o programa é feito para você. E vamos curtir a primeira entrevista de Eliane Munhoz com Jack Huston.
Eu estou aqui agora com Jack Huston, que veio lançar Ben Hur aqui no Brasil. O filme estreia agora dia 18 de agosto. E I have a curiosity because you belong to a very famous Hollywood family that goes to your great-grandfather. Yeah. So when did you start to think about being an actor?
You know what, before I had any idea what my family did, I, from a very young age, got on stage and just felt a certain comfortability to it. Like there was something I instantly related to, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process of creation, of exploring that. And I think it probably only added to it that I got to go and visit my aunt on sets and realize that you can actually do it as a job. But it was sort of innate. It was something that I just felt like it fitted. It was a sort of beautiful transition for me. It just was there, I guess.
Great. And how was it when you get a phone call saying, oh, do you want to be Ben Hur?
I wish it was as easy as that. I wish it was as easy as that. There were quite a few readings and me going up for the Masala role and finally getting a call saying, would you like to read for Ben Hur? It was quite a process, but one that was well worth all of the time and effort put into it, because I ended up getting to play Judah, and it's one of the great characters to me, so I was very lucky.
And we are discussing this during the press conference. What was your most difficult scene to do in Ben Hur, and which one was the one that gave you the most pleasure?
Well, you know what? It's so funny. I find the more difficult the scene, the more pleasure I get out of completing it. So, you know, the slave ship stuff took a long time to film, as did the chariot scene take a long time to film. But once we completed them, I felt such a sense of pride that we got through it. So then, getting through them as a whole were, you know, some of my favorite things, but individual scenes, the crucifixion was pretty powerful.
Yes.
Because emotionally it was very powerful for me, just to be in this strange sort of almost like sub-reality that was like suddenly I was witnessing the crucifixion and around these people and watching Rodrigo, who's such a powerful actor, and connecting with it. It was very emotional for me, and I think for everyone involved. I think being taken to this, I think a lot, and actually to be honest, the whole movie was pretty moving.
Yes,
I had a whole, it was a very powerful experience, a beautiful experience.
And you mentioned the chariot part. So how was your physical preparation to this? Because it seems that it had required a lot.
Yeah, a lot. You know what? I was training, because the very last thing we did was the slave ship. But the chariot came we did the chariot, then we did post-slave ship stuff in between the two. But I lost 30 pounds from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, because if you were a slave in the galley of a slave ship,
Of course.
you wouldn't be a big, bulking, muscly man. You'd be just muscle and bone, because all you do is eat very little and row all day. So we got on a very strict diet. We trained every day. I had a nutritionist, I had people working with me. So I was as strong as I'd ever been, but I was 30 pounds lighter. So I was like skin and bones. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know that there are many people that say, oh, the classic one, the Ben Hur classic from 1959 was the definitive version, all this. So what do you can say to these people to go to see Ben Hur, the new Ben Hur, and the movies now?
First off, like, a lot of people haven't seen the 59 version, and for the people who have seen it, which when we've tested the movie, they're the people who've actually responded some of the best. They actually love this new version, because the story itself is based on Lew Wallace's novel that has been interpreted now 4 times on screen. This is the 4th movie.
Yes.
There's a miniseries. And the 59 version, the way I look at it, and I say it in that beautiful way of a landscape, or that vase filled with flowers, I say if you give that and put it in front of 4 painters, you'll end up with 4 very different paintings, but they're of the same vase.
Yes.
Of flowers. So in a sense, the book was that, and it's the same for theatre. It's like Shakespeare wrote a play, Hamlet. How many times has Hamlet been performed?
Exactly.
And by the way, being performed beautifully by many, many different actors, by wonderful directors, sometimes by a director multiple times. You know what I mean? Because it's art, it's an art form, it's interpretive. So the lovely thing about this is not a remake of the 59 version, it's a reimagining of the book, and it's so exciting because it's such a poignant, relevant story for today's audiences. And what we've done with it is a very different experience. Experiencing this chariot race in 3D and IMAX,
Yeah.
it's very immersive,
Amazing.
It's just we're in the slave ship, all the stuff we have. That's the beautiful thing about cinema, is because something's been done doesn't mean it can't be reimagined or reinterpreted. That's the beauty of it, and I think it would be welcomed. I think Lew Wallace would be smiling knowing his book is still be reimagined 130 plus years later.
Oh, I agree. I really love the movie.
Oh, thank you.
Por favor, vão assistir Ben Hur nos cinemas, que o filme é muito legal. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.